1,500 subscribers. Thank you. Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and this week I tackled books as part of the KonMari Method. Books. I have such a love affair with books. One of my biggest hopes for my daughter is that she grows up to love reading. So with that in mind, did I manage to get rid of any at all? I guess you'll just have to hang on a few minutes to find out. I'll also be answering a question I've had from a few people now, which is, what do you do when books are your thing, or any category really, at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to explain why this category was a bit of an odd one out for me, because there is a big difference between this category and all the others. Let's go. So the KonMari Method is obviously about minimalism and decluttering and just generally learning to live with less. And I've spoken several times about how getting rid of so much of my stuff has made me realize how little I actually need, and that then spurs me on to get rid of even more stuff. Well, the books category has had the total opposite effect on me. Last year when I did this, I started with 66 books, and that included magazines, and then I finished with 31. This year, I started with 96. It's the only category I've actually added to and want to continue to add to, because for me, books spark joy and they make me want to surround myself in more of them. I just find it so odd because the KonMari Method, while it is about surrounding yourself with things that spark joy, it's generally accepted that you will do that by significantly reducing your belongings. And for everything else, that has been true. But this category has been a bit of an anomaly. But this category has been a bit of an anomaly. Has anyone else come across that while doing the method, that you actually came to a category where all you wanted to do was accumulate more? Very weird. Anyway, this category was really quick for me. It took me less than 5 minutes to gather everything together. First one on the pile was actually Marie Kondo's second book that's been translated into English, which is Spark Joy. But strangely enough, after I had gathered all my books together, I realized I was missing one, and that turned out to be the original book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. But can we just take a moment to appreciate that books do not need to be unfolded and then folded again? Books was also different in the sense that even though they do have a home, which is on some shelves in the office, there were lots of them spread throughout the house. So I had 1 or 2 in the kitchen, I had a few in the bedroom, and I had a handful in the sitting room. I don't know if that's because maybe the office isn't the ideal home for them, or maybe I just like to have books spread throughout the house. I have no idea, so I'm gonna have to give that one some thought. So yeah, I had 96 beforehand, though admittedly one of those was actually a DVD. And some of them were kind of puzzle books, you know, like Sudoku and crosswords, and there were 2 colouring books, but I included all those, so yeah, 96. I didn't include library books because obviously those are going to be going back. From there, it only took me about 5 minutes to go through them, which was much quicker than I was expecting, and I didn't run into any difficulties this time. There was no maybe pile like there was with clothes. Everything was decided first time round. The only difficulty was that while I was doing it, all I wanted to do was sit and read books for hours and hours. Total nerd. At the end of it, I had 13 books ready to be shipped out. Not a huge amount, but for a book lover, enough. It took me about 10 minutes to put them all back, but again, ever since, all I've wanted to do was read. Honestly, the contents of those shelves are sparking so much joy that I'm gonna have to give serious consideration to putting a fire extinguisher next to them. But yeah, I ended this round of decluttering with more than when I started the first time round. So I had 66 the last time I started, including magazines, and now, after 2 rounds of decluttering, I have 83. So a few people have asked me, what do you do if books are your thing? Well, as is probably pretty evident by now, books are definitely my thing, but I still manage to declutter some. In terms of advice, I would say still go through them all. You'll still find some that you're happy to let go of, and you will find some that absolutely spark joy and you can hang on to those. That's totally fine. If there are ones that you are genuinely undecided about, then maybe do what I did with clothes and have a maybe pile, and then go away, have a little break for yourself, get yourself re-energized, come back and go through them again. You'll make a little bit more progress, and then just keep doing that until you've gone through all of them. It's not a race and there's no deadline, so just go at your own pace. If there are books that have more of an emotional attachment, then just go ahead and add them to mementos. Kick that can on down the road. But, and this is a big thing and it applies to all of the categories, if you feel that you still have a lot when you're done, that's okay. Don't stress out about it. The purpose of the method is to surround yourself with stuff that you love. If you genuinely love those things and they genuinely spark joy, you're good. Don't feel that you have to get rid of stuff and that you have to get rid of a lot of stuff just because that kind of tends to be the trend with most of the categories. Doesn't mean that you're not going to come across a category where the majority of stuff sparks joy for you. Don't be hard on yourself. You have things that make you happy. That's a good thing. I also see a lot of people asking how much of a certain thing they should have. That's like when I'm pissed at my husband and I ask him a question. There's no right answer. You just do you and hope for the best. Because look, you could declutter just 5% of one category and realize that that particular category is where one of your passions lie. Or you could declutter 95% of a category and realize that you've been hoarding a whole load of crap for all this time. If you're being honest about what sparks joy, there is no minimum amount that you have to declutter. It will differ for everyone, and it will even differ from category to category. There is no wrong way, so don't worry about it. And that's it for yet another category of the KonMari method. If you like the video, why not give it a thumbs up? And if you haven't already subscribed and you want to follow my KonMari journey, or you just want to give me a nice warm fuzzy feeling inside, then go ahead and click that red subscribe button down there. Leave any questions or comments below and I will reply to as many as I can, but that is it for this one. Next week, papers. Gur míle maith agah agus feici mé sibh sigalua. Slán!